going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chunky! I didn't say.
Eat your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? I hope you're having a great day so far. I've got a good one. This is out of the vault. I went deep diving today and I found a case from Judge Rosie Speedlin Gonzalez from back in November. And it hit me when I was rewatching this case that I haven't seen her in probably a month. Since the holiday break, I haven't seen her come back on YouTube. I hope that she hasn't decided to quit YouTube because she was always fun to watch. But I do have this one. This is good. We have a 19-year-old kid who has a 3-year-old daughter in trouble in front of Judge Gonzalez. And yeah, if you've ever watched her, she doesn't hold back her opinion, and yeah, she doesn't buy this guy's excuses at all. There's a little bit of yelling. It gets spicy. All right. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Ready, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Grimes.
Where's Garcia? Where's our defendant, Judge?
On my screen, he's right above you.
Okay. Sir, do you know how to use that space bar to communicate with us?
Push down on the space bar, Mr. Garcia, on the keyboard. There's a long bar at the bottom of the keyboard. Can you push down on that, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. That's how when you speak, push down on that. When you're not speaking, let it go. Okay?
All right.
It's like an old-fashioned, I don't know if you know what a walkie-talkie is. People of my age, we had walkie-talkies when we were kids. All right? And we push the button to talk and we let it go to hear the other person. That's what I need you to do with your keyboard. Okay, Mr. Garcia? Okay, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, let's get on the record. Olga, in case number 725913, in the matter of the state of Texas versus Mr. Damian Garcia. Mr. Garcia, you're on live now. And can you put on the record whether you can hear us or not?
Yes, Your Honor, I can hear you.
And Mr. Garcia, I have a question for you. Have you given your attorney, Mr. Angel Taylor, and this court permission to go forward with your proceeding via video conference, also known as the Zoom app, which is what we're using right now?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia. Please stand by. Can I get announcements from the attorneys and from probation?
Sydney Grimes for the state of Texas.
Taylor Angel for defense.
Marie Martinez for probation.
And Mr. Garcia, I do need to swear you in. Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth under penalty of perjury should you make a false statement or lie to the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
You may put your hand down, Mr. Garcia. Now, Mr. Garcia, back on the 13th day of March of this year, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, 8 months ago, you submitted a request, an application to be placed on probation, so that you did not have to go to the Bexar County Jail to serve any time. Mr. Rodriguez, I need you to mute your, thank you. Mr. Garcia, you asked to be allowed to do probation, community supervision, instead of you going over to the Bexar County Jail to serve any time for the offense that you were charged with. The court approved your application, your request, with the understanding that you were going to follow the court's orders and that you were going to be compliant with your conditions of probation. That was your second chance.
Yes, Your Honor.
You were warned on that day, Mr. Garcia, that if you were to come back to the court, because the state filed a motion to revoke your probation, alleging that you were not complying with the court's orders and that you were not complying with your conditions of probation, and that after a hearing, which we're at today, Mr. Garcia, and after the court hears from you, from the state, from your lawyer, and from probation, after the court hears evidence from all of you, and the court just finds that maybe the evidence is enough to grant the state's motion to revoke your probation, then, Mr. Garcia, you could face the full range of punishment for the offense that you were charged with. And on the 13th day of March, you were told that the range of punishment could be up to 1 year of incarceration at the Bexar County Jail. You were told that in addition to those 365 days of jail time, the court could fine you up to, but no more than, $4,000. And for this offense, Mr. Garcia, you could lose your Second Amendment rights to bear firearms indefinitely. Mr. Garcia, we're at the hearing that you got warned about. So I need to know from you, do you understand why you're here today, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you understand the possible outcome of today's hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, please stand by. Ms. Grimes, as the prosecutor for Bexar County and the attorney for the state of Texas, why are we here today?
On or about the 16th day of July, 2024, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Damian Rene Garcia, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court in violation of condition number 2. On or about the 14th day of June, 2024, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Damian Rene Garcia, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court in violation of condition number 2.
Are those the only two you're going on?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. So, Mr. Garcia, the state is alleging 2 violations. First, that you failed to submit to drug testing as directed by your probation officer and as ordered by this court on the 14th day of June of 2024 in violation of condition number 2. Is that true or not true, Mr. Garcia?
True, Your Honor.
And then the state alleges that once again, on the 16th day of July of 2024, you again failed to submit to a drug test as ordered by your officer in this court in violation of condition number 2. Is that true or not true, Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that true?
True.
Thank you, sir. Please stand by, Mr. Garcia. Ms. Grimes, you have a true plea by the defendant for each of the violations as pled by the state. What is the state seeking today?
Revocation, Your Honor.
Okay. Now let's go to probation, and then we'll hear from Mr. Angel. Officer Martinez, can you please put on the record what the recommendation from adult probation is? And can you give me a brief summary of Mr. Garcia's overall compliance with his conditions of probation?
Yes, Your Honor. Probation is recommending revocation as well. Mr. Garcia was sentenced to 8 months probation. During his time on probation, he failed to submit on 2 separate occasions for a drug test. He did not register for BIP. He did not complete community service hours. He paid $292, but did not pay the rest of his fines and fees, which are outstanding in the amount of $649. His case is expired on November 12th of this year, and he has a new felony assault pending indictment. So probation is recommending revocation. Per the court summary that the officer that was supervising him wrote, it says the probationer is having a hard time controlling his negative impulses of aggression towards others, which resulted in him committing a new offense of a higher degree while currently under supervision for crimes of assault. The probationer also has not completed any conditions of probation and is a threat to the community.
All right, there you go. I let that play a little bit, so we got all the facts. We got all the allegations under our belt, so we understand what's going on. So, not good for this guy. I mean, he failed to. I already forgot. Did they say he failed drug tests or didn't show up? Doesn't matter. Either way, they count as failed. How long was? I have a lot of questions about just 2 tests, though. If it's been over the course of 8 months, is it just 2 tests over 8 months? That's actually not that bad. But still, 2, that's not good. But he hasn't done anything else. And yeah, wait till you hear what Judge Rosie has to say about this. We still have a little bit left. And yeah, you know what? Let's just go.
Mr. Taylor Angel, as counsel for Mr. Garcia, is there anything you want the court to consider before the court makes its ruling?
Yes, Your Honor. The first incident of him missing a test, he did appear to take that test 10 days later and did pass. Since he's been reincarcerated, I'm sorry, I've got a bad echo here. Since he's been reincarcerated, he completed parenting classes in jail, and is currently enrolled in domestic violence and AA classes.
So, Mr. Angel, you see the flaw in how Mr. Garcia submitted his negative UA. Do you see the flaw in that? There's a purpose for doing surprise and random drug testing.
Yes,
and
Your
that is to find out if the defendant is actually using without them being given the opportunity to clean their system out or to prepare for the UA and give us some false results. In other words, they get cleaned up, they're using, but they get enough time to then clean up. 10 days later is pretty much not going to fly with this court. He either submits his court order or he doesn't. Okay. In regard to his payment of fees, I'm going to give him 2 days credit to the 77 for credit for at the jail. Based on the math, if you were to buy time off, he'd end up with less than 48 hours. So I'm going to give him 2 days. Now, my question, and it's rhetorical, why does it take him to be locked up under lock and key out of jail for him to do AA and for him to do family violence classes and for him to do everything else? Why does he have to be forced to do it? Like an animal, where you have to force and take him by a leash and get him restrained to do things. Because that's what it appears on the face that has to be done with Mr. Garcia. And now there's another case pending, a violent offense alleged pending. Is there anything else you think may sway the court, Mr. Angel?
I have nothing further, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Garcia, I saw you raise your hand. You may want to ask your attorney if it's wise for you to say something.
Am I able to speak, Your Honor?
Mr.
Should
Angel?
we be placed in a breakout room?
He wants to talk to you in the breakout. Do you want to do it now or after I rule, Mr. Angel?
We do it right now.
Now, please.
Okay, we're gonna stop the proceeding. We're gonna break, recess, so that Mr. Angel can speak to Mr. Garcia, and then we'll come back and see if Mr. Garcia still wants to address the court. If he does, he'll be given that opportunity, and then the court will rule. For now, we sit in recess. Stand by, everyone. Mr. Angel's back.
All right, I debated putting in the first part into this video because it's not really that exciting, but in order to really appreciate what's about to happen, you needed to watch essentially the story of how we got here. And yeah, just wait till he starts talking. He doesn't say anything terrible, but it doesn't come across as good as I think he thinks it is. And this is when Judge Rosie's like, nope, not gonna fly. Also, the attorney said what, 2 sentences on his behalf? Come on, attorney, you can do a little bit better than that. Maybe he's already accepted the fact that, yeah, you're gonna be in jail. I'm not wasting my time. Still, you're his attorney. Step it up.
Back. Okay, Olga, let's get back on the record in case number 725913. Mr. Angel, is there anything else you want to put on the record?
Yes, Mr. Garcia would like to talk about his BIP class.
Okay, and Mr. Angel, are you appointed or retained?
I'm appointed on this case.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Garcia, you may address the court.
Yes, Your Honor. Those bib classes, I had done 4 weeks of the bib classes, but out of those 4 weeks, I did get kicked out 3 times because my daughter was in the background, and I know they said there was no exceptions of being no noises in the background or being in the car. I was only 3 years old. She was playing with the puppies, and the first time I got kicked off because she was making a lot of noise in the background with the puppies, and she kicked me out the first time. She said that don't let it happen again. Well, I don't have a babysitter, you know. I'm a single parent, so I do watch my daughter myself. So I had my daughter in another room. Like I said, my daughter's only 3 years old, so I need to watch her at the same time. But in my record, it should say that I did do my bib classes because I paid them more than 8 times being on those bib classes, you know. So when I heard you say that me being in jail, being incarcerated, that I'm taking these classes, no, I was taking those classes. I was taking those classes in the free world. I was taking my bib classes for the domestic violence. And my daughter's only 3 years old. I don't have a babysitter just to have her watch. I would have to call off from work. I would have to call off from work just to make the classes on Thursdays. Because it was 6 to 8, 2-hour sessions, and I had no one else to watch my daughter at the time. Like I said, I'll come off from work, come to my daughter, make sure she's okay, and then join those classes. With those 2 hours, I don't have a babysitter. My parents work, and the mom's out of the picture. So those classes, I was taking those classes, Your Honor.
Anything else, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like he was really taking the classes. If he attended 4 of them and got kicked out of 3, can you really say you're attending? No, you're breaking the rules. And yeah, no, I understand being a single parent. Well, I guess I don't because I'm not a single parent, but still, you got to do something because look where you are. That's one of the reasons why you're here. Could you imagine if you actually took the extra step and had someone watch your daughter for those 2 hours? You may not be here. If you successfully did your bib classes, you paid some towards your fines and costs. Well, no, never mind. He has a felony pending. No, he would be here. Yeah, scratch that. Not good. Okay, let's finish it up.
No, Your Honor, that was it.
All right. Can somebody please mute him? Mr. Garcia, I want you to take note. How many of you here have kids? Just raise your hand. How many of you here have kids? Okay, thank you, everyone. You're not special, Mr. Garcia. There are lots of people in this court that have children. Despite that, they make it work. They make it work. Now, I also heard that of the 4 classes you attended, you got kicked out at 3. Now, the order wasn't do what you can. The order was complete the class, which is over 20 classes. You weren't able to do that, so you are in violation. Okay? When you grow up, because I know you're only 19, when you grow up and start acting like a man, we'll know that because you'll start taking responsibility for your lapses. For your lapses. Because you're not even being a parent right now because your parents are taking care of your kid. Why? Because you ended up back in jail. Back in jail. And chances are you're going to keep coming back as long as you don't grow up and take responsibility for your acts and lapses. You would have been a prime candidate for Reflejo Court. But you chose to go another route. And you thought it was all a joke, that you wouldn't end up before a judge again. That we were just going to close your case and say, it's a misdemeanor case. We can just kick him to the curb. Well, we don't do that in this court. It may have been done in the past, but we haven't been doing that for the past 6 years. We hold people accountable because that's why this community put me on this bench, to hold people accountable. They also put me on this bench to make sure you got due process. Due process is giving you all the opportunities and chances that you got to make things right, and you didn't. You asked for a second chance to be put on supervision. You were given that opportunity, and you blew it again. I'm not here to reward you for any of that, Mr. Garcia. Today, I'm going to accept your true plea for violation number 2 on the 16th day of July of 2024, and your true plea for violation number 2 on the 14th day of June of 2024. The court is going to grant the state's motion to revoke your probation. And Ms. Grimes, can you put on the record the relationship between Mr. Garcia and the alleged complaining witness?
Your Honor, I'd have to look that up.
I need that to put on the record. Otherwise, the affirmative finding of family violence is compromised.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, the name of the victim was Zoe Galindo. The state is looking for the relationship, but that's Zoe Galindo, Z-O-E.
Okay.
I'm sorry, y'all. I had attorneys in my office the hearing, is Judge doing paperwork and I can start taking announcements?
We're still in the
middle of it.
hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am.
Your Honor, the CW is defendant's ex-girlfriend.
Okay. Defendant's ex-girlfriend that qualifies for family violence finding. So, I'm going to find you guilty, Mr. Garcia, of the assault bodily injury to a family or household member alleged to have taken place on the 20th day of January of 2024. The court is issuing the affirmative finding of family violence. Upon your release from custody, Mr. Garcia, you will be prohibited from possessing, purchasing, owning, or using a firearm, a gun, and ammunition. Upon your release from custody, you will be prohibited from living anywhere, staying anywhere, or visiting any location where firearms, guns, or ammunition can be found. Upon your release from custody, you will be prohibited from being a passenger or a driver in any motor vehicle in which firearms, guns, or ammunition can be found. And last on this restriction, Mr. Garcia, upon your release from custody, you can go hunting all day till the cows come home. But you cannot use a firearm, a gun, or ammunition to hunt with. We're not taking your right to hunt away. Today, you're being sentenced to 365 days at the Bexar County Jail. Due to your indigency status, the $4,000 fine will be waived and zero. Your court costs will be waived as well. The court is issuing the affirmative finding of family violence. The court is giving you 77 days of jail time of credit, plus 2 days for having paid some fees. So 79 days credit for time served. And your time and money will run concurrent. Good luck to you, sir. Maybe you can finish off those great cases you're doing in jail. Maybe you'll come out a better person from the Bexar County Jail than you went in, but that's highly unlikely. The future will tell us whether you've learned your lesson or not. I hope you have. And I'm sure your child is being very well taken care of by your parents, and they'll continue to take care of her or him as long as you continue to act in this manner. Good luck to you, sir. Everyone is excused, and we
Year in jail. 19-year-old, a year in jail. That's a lot. I feel bad for his kid. I really do. I mean, he had a kid when he was 16. That blows my mind. I couldn't even imagine. I know it happened, but it blows my mind. Yeah. Anyways, that's it. Judge Rosie, Speedling Gonzalez. I really do hope she comes back to YouTube. I do miss her, so I'll keep an eye out. I might do a little research and find out. I'll message some people and see if she's off YouTube for good. Maybe she's just on a vacation. I don't know. But it has been about a month since I've seen her. Okay. Have a great day, everybody. Please hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Until next time, bye.
are off the record. I'm going to go fill out his paperwork. Mr. Angel, Ms. Grimes, Ms. Martinez, Officer Martinez, anything else you want to put on the record?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from defense, Your Honor.
Nothing from probation.
All right. Everyone is excused. We're off the record, Olga. I'll be back for the next proceeding.